So here we are joined by all the eminent guests on the dais, and now we will start the discussion.
Shall I go there or can we do? Namaste, good morning to all Chhatraps of the industry, distinguished members, and I can see many great faces around. Pramod ji kahan gaye? Anyway, so this is about, I have been asked to speak on the topic advancing artisan skills and vocational pathway. Please excuse me, I am not a very good speaker and I am actually running through a bad phase of my health as well. So I may get blurred at times. Uske liye mere ko thoda sa. So, shall I start? Okay. We were actually listening to all distinguished speakers who have spoken about the state of industry at the moment and our future prospects and many other things, financing, skill development. I don't think that they have left any topic to be touched here. But still, as I am directed, I will try to speak something about the state of skills and advancement. So let us start. Our industry is actually at the crossroads at this time. I generally think about this as like there are opportunities we have, as you mentioned and many other speakers mentioned, we are at a demographic advantage at this time. We are a young nation and we have a large number of youth who are going to get married in next 10 or 15 years. I think everyone would agree to that. So this is a great opportunities. We are the fastest growing large economy in the world at this time. So again, this gives us a reason to be happy about. There are disrupting supply chains, which again present an advantage to us, where Western economies are developing greater mistrust of countries like China, and as the world is going through wars and there are geopolitical reasons, economic reasons. So in my opinion, we again stand at an advantage here. There are many more young businesses and I can actually see many faces here as well. And I think there are many more startups coming into the business. They are bringing fresh ideas, fresh new perspective of the business, newer ventures, and again, newer ways of marketing. We have a great heritage of traditional arts and crafts. Resilience of industry is absolutely fantastic. It has survived through pandemics. It has survived through wars. It has survived through all the political situations. And honestly speaking, the industry which survived the gold control in our country can survive anything in this world if it is thrown upon us. So these were all the opportunities. Then there are challenges, growing unemployment, young talent, younger generations, families of karigars, present karigars are not willing to join industry, not willing to come into the same profession. And I have been talking to my people, my karigars. I haven't found anyone whose son or daughter is actually interested in working as a karigar or a bench worker or as an artisan. And I think the biggest reason behind this is the lack of aspirations. The industry has actually failed to offer the kind of aspirations a job actually offers to younger people in the country. And Rajiv ji is there with us in the panel. He would also agree to that we have a growing shortage of skilled karigars. There are many more youngsters willing to train into software skills like design, CAD, and all those related programs, but very few takers are there for the bench working or the goldsmithing. Right, sir? So this is again one of the challenges, and industry, in my opinion, again has failed to offer the appropriate working conditions to their carriers, and it is seen across the clusters. And I treat and see this as a gross violation of human rights. If we were rated on this scale in the world, India probably stands as one of the gross violators of human rights, and our industry doesn't need a special mention here. There is, again, everyone was talking about 3D printing. Mr. Sabyasachi was speaking about 3D printing. It's a great technology. It's a great tool. But in my opinion, it has become like a hindrance in the way of our further development of our traditional crafts and skills. It can always assist our karigars, and it can act as a supplement. It can be a great tool, no doubt about that, but I see many more pieces being made by hand in the past are now being made using these 3D printers and machines. And actually they are losing or deteriorating in intricacy. There are precious metals prices which have been volatile. There is a kind of obsession of our policymakers with higher tariffs. I have to be honest here. This may not go well with our policymakers, but their obsession with higher tariffs continues. There are complex export controls, I would say export controls, arising out of import tariffs only. I was telling someone outside just now that if the custom duties, just an imaginary situation, if the custom duties are reduced to zero, what would happen? Nothing will change. It will go on like this only, but India will actually finish off Dubai in one go. Right, sir? So there are import controls as well because of this situation. There are complex compliances. Everyone was talking about that. There are high costs of compliances. Now again, there is a challenge in disrupting supply chain on the other side. There are emerging sources like Turkey. There are Southeast Asian nations. Fantastic facilities they are creating, like, for example, Thailand has emerged as one of the largest manufacturers of fine silver jewelry, and Turkey actually is fast replacing or has almost replaced Italy as one of the quality manufacturers of gold jewelry. One thing I would like to mention here is like margins are under pressure across the supply chain, across the value chain, which has resulted into unfair competition, and biggest losers are karigars. There is a fine line, a merging line between product we produce and the commodity we sell. The entire industry has started treating jewelry as a commodity. I see it as a beautifully made product. So that's the difference. There is a difference in perspective. A lot of people speak about gold, bullion, exchanges, but nobody speaks about this aspect at all. We are actually dealing in a product. So we have actually lost the character of being a supplier or manufacturer of product as well. So these are all my side, my ideas, and I would like to place the first question to Professor Sundarvalli from the India Gold Policy Center. What is your idea about policymakers and tariffs?
Good morning, esteemed audience over here. It's a pleasure and honor to be representing our views in this ICC conference here. And thanks, Mr. Karal, for putting this question to me. And in terms of India Gold Policy Center, what we are doing, in particular, this particular session is on labor. So I would like to focus on first labor part. So when you talk about tariff part, you know, the entire sector, the entire industry talks about marketing gold, taking gold jewelry, gold products to the external world. We are talking about exports. my question in this, my response to what you have asked is, how much are we investing internally in our skills, in our skill development and our labor, artisans? So when you're saying, based on some of the points that you mentioned, you said people don't have aspirations to pursue this jewelry as an art. So this part I think must be emphasized. This part must be emphasized. Right? So we have schemes from the government of India like Skill India is there, Make in India is there, and government keeps on talking. We have also interacted with, we quite often interact with the, Finance Ministry, Commerce Ministry, External Affairs Ministry, everybody. One of the things that they always focus on, talk about is current account deficit and current account deficit, the contribution of gold and precious metals and jewelry to CAD, right? So we say, we promote, we strongly, we are a proponents of saying that unless otherwise the export is going to be more than your import, your current account deficit is not going to be there. And how do you fortify, how do you increase export is what we keep on saying. And if you want to say, what is not in India, for example, multiple people have said, and then this is a very well-known fact, Indian handmade jewelry has got a market. We are a brand, and we focus only on the brand building, on the marketing side to the external face. Internally, we aren't doing enough. And I think we have to fortify, or we have to strongly encourage handmade jewelry making in India. And the other part, there is enough to do, and we need enough people to bring into that forte. When you're saying Thailand has surpassed in fine silver jewelry, Turkey is doing good in fine jewelry, has surpassed Italy, our identity is something different. Mission jewelry is something everybody can replicate. Our Indian handmade jewelry has got its own market, and how do you fortify that is a question. I think that is where the sector has to work once again. And our minister, he was saying about too much of Bengali influence. So let me bring in a little bit of a Tamil influence. I come from Tamil Nadu, and so in Tamil Nadu, in Thiruvalluvar says, idanai ivan mudikkum ena arindu adanai avan selkol. Meaning, when you look at Indian jewelry, we have got Polki jewelry, Kundan jewelry, couple of, different areas have got different specializations. Can we focus on them? Can we focus on them? Can we build capacity building? Can we build artisans, skill development in those areas? And can we targeted marketing of these things? So this is something that one should, I think, work upon. And now let us look at the jewelry sector. Like the last year, during Dhanteras, the sales has gone up by 130%. That's a record the last year. This year's I don't have. So 130% increase in the jewelry. Why not we invest? Why not we invest more? And the Indian gold and jewelry sector is contributing something like 7% to the GDP. 7% to the GDP, and literally 5 million people are involved. When you look at the laborers, 5 million people are involved, and there is a considerable merit for us to encourage or invest in artisans, I know some of the, I have personally interacted with some of the jewelry making units, some of the diamond sectors, and when I am going to connect what I am saying to this theme of this particular session, innovate, elevate, globalize. I have a very strong view on what we are going to innovate. I would like to think that, I'm personally a proponent of, marrying heritage tradition with modernization, with innovation. I don't think, yes, our jewelry has got a brand, our designs have a brand. What we have to innovate is come out with innovative models for public policy, innovative models for commercialization of the sector, and this is innovative models for improvising gold towards Bharat, gold towards Indian economy. And we have our own thought process, and we keep on writing policy notes, and we keep on writing this to the ministries as well. So we have considerable thoughts on what innovative models can be proposed for India. That is something that we are trying to do. At the same time, jewelers can come out with different pricing and labor models. How do you compensate labors? How do you compensate for labors? I have seen people doing people meaning I mean jewelry units having some combination models of fixed and variable packages and improvising the lives of artisans so that more people are encouraged to come back into the fold. We speak about Vishwakarma, but we know several Vishwakarmas leaving this profession and going to some other menial or some other industrial jobs. So why do we do that? When there is a money, we want more people, more artisans to come back into the fold. And so internalization, when you are saying about elevation, globalization, there is a little bit of working on the internalization and the sourcing part as well. I think that is all from my side as of now. Thanks very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Interesting. Once again, you said that Minister mentioned Bengal, but we have fantastic and large clusters in India. There is one in Coimbatore, one in Thrissur, and Ahmedabad, Rajkot. There are many more clusters. So, and there are again many more arts, many more styles of crafts. So my next question, Mr. Anil Sankhwal, he is a COA member, DJPC. Sankhwal ji, what about regulatory framework, export and import controls which are directly or indirectly impacting the karigars?
It's a very interesting question you have put on. The regulations are there to regulate. But regulation does not mean it can always be positive. It is the industry which decides what we need, how do we moderate, how do we go further on that. And Gem and Jewellery's work is that to be able to come up the needs of the industry and inform the government that what changes are required. Now, you said, how are they impacting the artisans? The basic issue is the artisans are more impacted through the automation of the industry, of how we work. But however, as has been pointed out earlier by the earlier speakers, that Mr. Sen also mentioned that there is no way that you can make jewelry which we make today in India by hand, by machine. And that is the best part of it. Don't forget something, everything which is made by hand is unique, is one of a kind. Even if an artisan creates 100 pieces of the same design, each will have its own stamp, it will be unique. And that is what we have to promote. What you wear, what a consumer wears is unique to that consumer. It's like a gemstone. Emeralds of the same quality are there, but not necessarily same. And hence, we must now tell our consumers what you're wearing handmade is yours, made for you, and that is the value of that particular piece. Now, artisans, when we talk about artisans, we have to promote them. And when I say promote them, that we have to tell them that there are two verticals, handmade jewelry, machine-made jewelry, and both are here to stay. It is not necessary that machine-made jewelry will take over the handmade, provided we give impetus to the artisan. अगर हम उनको बढ़ावा देंगे ही नहीं तो आगे कैसे बढ़ेंगे? The next generation जो आने वाली है वो नहीं आएगी. और ये ड्यूटी हमारी है as a jeweler to make them come forward, to have those artisans with us. We demand skilling के अंदर हम कहते हैं कि भाई we need skilled trainers, skilled artisans. Now there are three definite ways of looking at it. One, we have introduction to skilling. Second is medium level and third is high end. हम लोग हमेशा बोलते हैं हमें तो ट्रेन चाहिए. तो जो आदमी अभी शुरू में आया है, जिसने सीखा है, वो कैसे ट्रेन होगा अगर हम उसको अपनी फैक्ट्री में, अपने वर्कशॉप में उसको जगह नहीं देंगे? हमें देनी ही पड़ेगी. This is most required that we should allow them to come to us, to stay with us, and then understand the intricacies of it. The moment he does that, he will become more interested. He will become our trained artisan. तो अभी कमी कहाँ पर है? एक कमी तो हमारे में है. As a jeweler, we are not allowing them to come to us. एक कमी और भी है, हमारे पास skilled trainers नहीं है. So we need to have people who are train the trainers. That program has to be very effective, irrespective where it is. We need to have it established in our all the institutes. I am also taking care of, I'm head of Indian Institutes of Jewelry in IIGJ, Gems and Jewelry का मैं head हूँ. मैं देखता हूँ कि लोग आते हैं वहाँ पर सीखते हैं, and they start with the basics. And then when they get interested, they go to next level. And the third level is when they want to polish their skills, go to a factory and then sit down and learn the intricacies of it. So the government is doing a lot in promoting this skill training, and we are thankful to them. They have given us a lot of initiatives, they have given us a lot of push, and our Honorable Prime Minister has been very much telling us to push it further. And his support is totally there. And that is why we have been able to create new institutes. Udupi was one, Varanasi is another, and we are now going towards the northeast as well. So जब ये हो जाएगा तो हमारे पास एक स्कोप होगा पूरा कंट्री कवर करने का, उसको बताने का कि हम ऐसे ट्रेड से हैं जो इज एन एपल ऑफ द आई. हमारा जेम एंड ज्वेलरी इज वेरी मच लुक्ड अप टू, एंड वी शुड नाउ वर्क टुगेदर to promote the artisans. The skilling will only depend when the artisans come to us. If we cannot promote it, we cannot tell them, yes, it is a good industry to be in, they will not come to us. We should not lose them. We have been losing our great people of past who have been making some fantastic hand jewelry. We should not do it. I remember very well, ek zamane mein we had jewelry, which is again come back, thankfully for that. बट एक और ज्वेलरी हुआ करती थी चुनी मोती की ज्वेलरी जो होती थी, विच वॉज वेरी मच पॉपुलर अराउंड द वर्ल्ड एंड वॉज डन बाय सर्टन आर्टिजन्स ओनली. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हुआ क्या, ओवर द पास्ट ईयर्स दे हैव मूव्ड ऑन. सम हैव गॉन टू पाकिस्तान एंड सम हैव दे लेफ्ट द जॉब टोटली. I went to Pakistan to see that the artisans who have gone there, have they taken it further? That is a particular kind of jewelry which is handmade and was very, very popular at one time. Kade hain, necklace hai. Sorry?
I didn't get the name.
Well, chuni moti is something which is called a stone. Usko, you can call it, there's one more name to it, Chetan, maybe you know. It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, so I went to Pakistan to see कि वही कारीगर जो यहाँ से गए थे, क्या वो उन्होंने आगे बढ़ाया उसको. I was shocked to see there was no mention of it, there is no jewelry over there, so that has died, which is very unfortunate. Something which belonged to India, something was promoted from India, something the world wanted, we were sending by kilos, has suddenly vanished. तो हमने क्या किया उसके लिए? नहीं किया. I think now is the time to again wake up. It's a wake-up call for us. If we cannot grab it and do it, we'll miss out. So please, my request to all the industry would be, यहाँ पर एसोसिएशन बहुत से बैठे हैं, तो प्लीज़ ऐसी चीज़ें आइडेंटिफाई करें जो हमको आगे बढ़ानी है, जो हमारे से जा रही हैं या चली गई हैं, उनको रिवाइव करें. अभी तक हमने सिर्फ एक चीज़ रिवाइव की है, वो है जड़ाऊ. कुंदन मीना को रिवाइव कर लिया, थैंक गॉड फॉर दैट. मैंने खुद अपने जीवन में अपनी पुरानी गद्दी पे किलो से माल टूटता हुआ देखा है. It pains me to remember the fantastic pieces which were broken there. We have lost our heritage. For what? Because there was no work. Because we could not project that this is one of a kind. Let us do it. ये हमारी गलती थी, but ठीक है. It is in phase. आज lab grown है, पहले natural था, आज lab grown है. But they are all part. But they are all here to stay. Please don't get disheartened. Every piece, everything has a place in our industry. ये कोई किसी को लेने वाला नहीं है. I'm sorry, I'm going away from the subject. But when the cultured pearl became popular, we all thought we have lost the nature now. It will not sell. Look at today. When you look in hindsight, 300 बरस पहले क्या हुआ था और आज क्या है? The natural diamond, natural pearls command the highest price. क्यों ऐसा हुआ? Same thing happened, ruby, sapphire. So why are we afraid of lab grown? We are all together. We are here to stay. We have all different niche markets. We have all different customers for that, and they will all stay. And like I mentioned earlier, please, we need to promote our artisans. We need to bring them to us. Tell them we need you. Industry needs you. So that is the way to promote it. Thank you.
We have a very important member on our panel, Mr. Rajiv Garg, and I had an opportunity of working with him when I was also a board member of GJSCI. So my question to you, Rajiv ji, is about the skilling program. As I spoke about the pressure on margins and its impact on the remuneration or the financial benefits to the karigars, because it is the karigar who has been at the losing end of this entire chain. So what do you think, what needs to be done about upskilling on one hand and raising the standards on the other hand?
थैंक यू करेल जी। मैं थोड़ा बिजनेस के बारे में बात नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि मैं जूलर नहीं हूँ। तो आई विल टॉक अबाउट जो मेन एसेंस है, कोर है यहाँ पर, कि आर्टिजन का स्किलिंग या अपस्किलिंग के लिए क्या हो रहा है और अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो क्यों नहीं हो रहा है। और एक सक्सेसफुल मॉडल है जो हमने क्रिएट किया है पिछले 2-3 सालों में, और वो बाकी जगह क्यों नहीं हो पा रहा है। सो आई विल स्टार्ट विद द सक्सेस स्टोरी फर्स्ट करेल जी। और मुझे लगा शायद हिंदी में बात करनी चाहिए, इसलिए मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ। तो अगर आप लोगों को मालूम हो, मुंबई में SEZ में सीप्स में 2022 मई में हमने एक ट्रेनिंग सेंटर, स्किलिंग सेंटर शुरू किया था। उसको हम जोश बोलते हैं सर, उसका कॉपीराइट मेरा है, वो नाम मैंने दिया था। सो वहाँ पर वो क्यों हुआ, और वो आज की डेट में हमने शुरू किया था लगभग 2000 स्क्वायर फीट एरिया से, 2200 स्क्वायर फीट एरिया से। आज वो सेंटर सर 5000 स्क्वायर फीट एरिया में है। और सब लोगों ने सुबह से भारत रत्नम की बात की, मेगा CFC की, तो इट इज़ पार्ट ऑफ दैट। और मैं एक छोटी सी ये सक्सेस स्टोरी इसलिए बता रहा हूँ, और मैं सुबह शिवांकर जी से भी यही बात कर रहा था कि अनलेस इंडस्ट्री कम्स फॉरवर्ड, सरकार कुछ भी कर ले कुछ होगा नहीं। और ये सक्सेस स्टोरी में इंडस्ट्री इज़ द लीडिंग प्लेयर। जो हमने शुरू किया, श्री संजय कोठारी हमारे चेयरमैन होते थे, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज सॉर्ट ऑफ essence and his reach to the jewelry fraternity, we could collect 3 crore rupees as CSR contribution from industry, and mostly from within SEEPs, exporters, जो जिनको मैंने कभी देखा नहीं था, खाली बात करते थे। वो मेगा CFC का फाउंडेशन स्टोन उस दिन डाला जा रहा था, पीयूष गोयल जी थे वहाँ, तो उन्होंने बात किया कि इसमें स्किलिंग भी होना चाहिए। तो वहीं पर उन्होंने बात की, उन्होंने अनाउंस किया कि हम ये ट्रेनिंग सेंटर शुरू करेंगे। मेगा CFC जो भारत रत्नम तो बाद में बना, बट वी स्टार्टेड दैट सेंटर, स्किलिंग जोश स्किलिंग सेंटर, मई 2022 में। उसमें हमारी कैपेसिटी उस समय लगभग 90 स्टूडेंट्स की होती थी सर। उससे शुरू किया था, फाइलिंग, मेटल सेटिंग, पॉलिशिंग और कैड, ये 4 जॉब रोल से। और वहाँ जैसा कि मैंने बताया, कोई गवर्नमेंट फंडिंग नहीं थी, कोई गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट नहीं था ट्रेनिंग के लिए, किसी भी चीज़ के लिए। ये सब इंडस्ट्री कंट्रीब्यूशन से शुरू हुआ। GJSCI ने उसको शुरू किया। हमने अभी सर ने, अनिल जी ने बात की ट्रेनर्स की, आई विल कम टू दैट ऑल्सो। ट्रेनर्स एंगेज किए। जस्ट टू बी ऑन रिकॉर्ड सर, 2022 मई में, 5 मई को हमने शुरू किया था। उस दिन से जो ट्रेनर्स ने ज्वाइन किया है हमको, वो आज तक हमारे साथ हैं। देयर इज़ नो एट्रिशन, एंड द रीज़न इज़ जो आपने बोला, द पेमेंट, व्हाट यू पे। सर ट्रेनर्स को हम देते क्या हैं? अभी जो बाकी गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स में भी ट्रेनिंग होती है, ट्रेनर्स को क्या मिलता है? वी पेड देम मोर देन व्हाट दे वर गेटिंग एज सुपरवाइजर्स इन देयर फैक्ट्री। दे ऑल आर विद 15, 20, 25, 30 साल का इंडस्ट्री एक्सपीरियंस के लोग हैं। वो टीचर नहीं थे कभी भी, उनको कैसे पढ़ाना है मालूम नहीं था। वो सब इंडस्ट्री एक्सपीरियंस वाले लोग हैं। इंडस्ट्री एक्सपीरियंस वाले लोग क्यों? क्योंकि उन्हें पता है इंडस्ट्री का क्या ज़रूरत है, क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है। तो जब वो सिखाएंगे किसी को, तो वो आदमी कारीगर ही बनेगा, he'll not be somebody else. So we ensured that we were paying them sufficiently enough so that they were interested to take this job. Aspiration जो आपने बात की। और सर ईयरली इंक्रीमेंट जैसा MNCs में या बाकी नॉन ज्वेलरी कंपनीज में होता है, we ensure to give them yearly increment. So that's why from day one जिसने ज्वाइन किया वो आज भी है। एंड आई ओपनली इनवाइट एवरीबडी, मैं सबको बोलता हूँ कि आप कभी भी मुंबई आए मुझसे कांटेक्ट करें, यू प्लीज़ विजिट दैट सेंटर, तो आपको पता चलेगा क्या संभव है। ऐसा नहीं है सर कि कुछ संभव नहीं है, लेकिन ये एक जगह सक्सेसफुल हुआ, हमने इंडस्ट्री से पैसा लिया, शुरू किया, देन थ्रू CSR फंड्स, देन वी स्टार्टेड चार्जिंग प्लेसमेंट फ़ी, क्योंकि खर्चा है, खाली इंडस्ट्री इनिशियल सेटअप का तो कॉस्ट नहीं है। अभी जब हम सैलरी देने हर एक कैंडिडेट को सर हम 2,000 रुपये महीना स्टाइपेंड देते हैं, देर इज़ नो फीस, द ट्रेनिंग इज़ फ्री, वी पे द कैंडिडेट 2,000 रुपी एज अ स्टाइपेंड, सो दैट he is also motivated enough to learn, to come regularly, to be punctual. उसको 2,000 रुपये महीना देते हैं ताकि उसको अपने घर पर पैसा नहीं मांगना पड़े आने के लिए, चाय के लिए, खाने के लिए। सो एवरी मंथ वी पे, 3 महीने का कोर्स है हमारा, 6,000 रुपये हम वो कैंडिडेट को देते हैं अपने पास से, विदाउट चार्जिंग हिम एनीथिंग। सो वी चार्ज अ प्लेसमेंट फ़ी विच इज़ अबाउट, जो इनिशियल मेंबर्स रहे हैं जिन्होंने डोनेट किया उनको 15,000 रुपया, अदरवाइज 20 या 25,000 रुपया, कैट का 25,000 रुपया है, दैट्स व्हाट वी चार्ज। बट एक चीज़ आते हैं, बट आई कैन टेल यू CZ में उनका ब्रोकन आपके डायमंड के ब्रोकन से कम होगा। ग्लास सिमुलेंट पे सिखाते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ एमरल्ड, ग्लास सिमुलेंट, यू नो एमरल्ड में कितना ब्रोकन होता है, ग्लास सिमुलेंट जो है एमरल्ड का, उसमें आई हैव नो ब्रेकेज, एंड वी ट्रेन देम ऑन ऑल द टाइप ऑफ सेटिंग, वी ट्रेन देम ऑन ऑल, जो मेरा फाइलर वहाँ ट्रेन होता है, वो खाली फाइलर नहीं है, वो फाइलर एंड असेंबलर, वो सब काम कर सकता है, वो जॉइनिंग, वो लेज़र सोल्डरिंग कर सकता है, तो उनको एंड टू एंड जितना भी काम है सिखाते हैं। वी हैव ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड वैक्स सेटिंग एंड डायमंड असॉर्टमेंट। नाउ आई जस्ट वांट टू शेयर, क्योंकि ये सर आपका सवाल है उससे सीधा जुड़ा हुआ है, हम सिखाते हैं। अभी जब आदमी आता है, ज्वाइन करता है, तो एज मॉर्निंग में भी somebody said we are not competing within jewelry, we are competing with Swiggies of the world। जो गिग वर्कर है वो फूड डिलीवरी करने जाता है, महीने का 15, 20, 25,000 रुपये आराम से कमाता है, अपने टाइम से फ्लेक्सी टाइम में काम करता है। हमारे यहाँ सब होने के बाद ये शुरू हुआ था, बात हुआ था कि एक कुछ मिनिमम वेज देंगे। सर लीडिंग इंडस्ट्री पीपल, डायमंड असॉर्टर, पहले तो उनको बोला आपको BKC आना पड़ेगा, 8,000 रुपये महीना देंगे। नाउ व्हाई वुड दैट पर्सन स्टे इन इंडस्ट्री? हम चाहते ही नहीं है कि हमें ट्रेन कारीगर मिले या हमको रखें। आप जो है कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के साथ ही काम करना चाहते हो, वो किसी को भी बिठाए, कुछ भी दे या नहीं दे, तो जो करेल जी ने कहा वो एक फैक्ट है। हम आज तक, और ये मेरा बहुत बड़ा पेन पॉइंट था सर, जब मैंने इंडस्ट्री अब से 14-15 साल पहले ज्वाइन की, मैं IIT से इंजीनियर हूँ, मेरे आप देखो आज भी मेरे हाथ में शादी की रिंग भी नहीं है, सो आई एम दैट फार अवे फ्रॉम ज्वेलरी, क्योंकि मैं फूड इंडस्ट्री में था। तो जब मैंने यहाँ ज्वाइन किया तो सबसे बड़ा आई वाज सरप्राइज टू सी कि कोई भी प्रोफेशनल लोग ही नहीं है, ऊपर से नीचे तक। आप तनिष्क छोड़ दीजिए, टाइटन छोड़ दीजिए, बट बाकी अब इफ देयर कैन बी 1 टाइटन, 1 तनिष्क, व्हाई कैन नॉट देयर बी 10? इतने बड़े, सब बड़े बड़े ब्रांड्स हैं, सब बड़ी बड़ी फैक्ट्रीज भी हैं, बट कोई तनिष्क का रेप्लिका क्यों नहीं बन पाया? बिकॉज ऑफ आवर कल्चर एंड पॉलिसीज विच वी हैव, नॉट ओनली टुवर्ड्स कारीगर, इवन स्टाफ। जिसको आपको रखना है वो चाहे उसको कुछ हो या नहीं हो, उसको आप कुछ भी दे दोगे, और अगर कोई ट्रेंड है, कोई प्रोफेशनल है, बट वो आपके हिसाब से अगर नहीं चलता है तो अगले दिन बाहर होगा। यू नो चेतन भाई, so this is the problem with the industry per se, मतलब this is a disease, unless we sort this out। ये हम खाली बातें करेंगे। एक दो चीज़ लास्ट और ऐड करूँगा सर, जोश मुंबई में सक्सेसफुल हो गया। आज की डेट में हमारी कैपेसिटी 206 कैंडिडेट की है, वी स्टार्टेड विद 90, और मेरा प्लेसमेंट रिकॉर्ड सर 90% प्लेसमेंट, 90%। जो बच्चे, उसमें कुछ बच्चे होते हैं जो छोड़ के ही जाते हैं कि नहीं करना है, बट अदरवाइज 90% प्लेसमेंट है। एंड देर आर टाइम्स, यू नो, वो वेरिएशन अपने यहाँ सीजनैलिटी के होते हैं, बट देर आर बैचेस जहाँ मैं ओवर बुकड होता हूँ। अगर मेरे 30 फाइलर निकल रहे हैं तो मेरे पास 50 का रिक्वायरमेंट होता है, बट देन दे आर समटाइम्स लेस, बट ओवरऑल जो अभी तक ट्रेन किए हैं, एंड देयर इज नो गैप। पिछले 2-2.5 साल से कोई गैप नहीं हुआ कि हमको बीच में 3 महीना बंद करना पड़ा, 6 महीना बंद करना पड़ा, तो ये कंटिन्यूअस चल रहा है. नाउ वी हैव बीन हैविंग सपोर्ट, एज आई सेड, CSR फंड्स आया. नाउ व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड दिस, देन द गवर्नमेंट आल्सो कम्स फॉरवर्ड. अभी सुबह तिवारी जी थे, तो अभी जो DC ऑफिस है, DC अथॉरिटी सीप्स में, दे हैव एग्रीड टू फंड द सैलरी ऑफ ट्रेनर्स एवरी मंथ. सो जो सब मिला के 5-5.5 लाख रुपया कॉस्ट आते हैं, देव एग्रीड. 1 साल के लिए बोले हर महीने आप उनको सैलरी देंगे, आप हमको प्रूफ दो आपने क्या सैलरी दी, वील डिसबर्स इट टू यू. एंड लास्ट मंथ वी गॉट इट फॉर द फर्स्ट मंथ. सो देयर आर सपोर्ट्स. देन वेयर इज श्रीराम? He is sitting there. So he visited, his international directors visited, they saw this, they have been supporting all the industry initiative. Wherever I go, I see GIA. But हमारे को जो सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं वो साइलेंट सपोर्ट है. वहाँ कोई ऐसा है इनको कवरेज नहीं मिलने वाला है मीडिया का. बट ही हैज एग्रीड दैट ही विल फंड. अभी फोर्थ हमारा जो नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में बैच होगा, उसका जो भी एक्सपेंसेस है विच वी आर नॉट गेटिंग from SEEPs or anywhere, they have agreed they would fund through their CSR contribution. So with such supports only these things can work, because GJSCI is the business nahi hai. We don't sell jewelry, so we don't have any profit making venues where we would be earning profit. So we have to get funds from industry to support you. Similar things sir we tried in, प्रमोद जी बैठे होंगे कहीं, गए शायद, जयपुर, you know, okay, we tried it in Jaipur, we tried it in Surat also, okay, sorry to be saying, but there are vested interest in various places who do not want things to go out of their control. Sir, मेरी है ये, मेरी मिल्कियत है, मेरी है, कोई और दूसरा आके कैसे चलाएगा? वाइल वो नहीं चला रहा हूँ 25 साल से, वो उतना बड़ा शीश महल खड़ा ही है. यू ऑल नो क्या हो रहा है वहाँ, कितने लोग ट्रेन हो रहे हैं, कितने लोग प्लेस हो रहे हैं, करोड़ों रुपए का इन्वेस्टमेंट होके वो है. बट दे डोंट वांट एनीबडी एल्स हु हैज बीन डूइंग इट सक्सेसफुली टू कम एंड डू इट. वी हैव बीन ट्राइंग इन कोलकाता. शुभंकर जी इज हियर, विनोद जी इज हियर फॉर लास्ट 3 years. आज तक नहीं कर पाए. इवन लास्ट ईयर आई वेंट अलॉन्ग विद शुभंकर टू अवर मिनिस्ट्री, मिस्टर अतुल तिवारी, उनके सामने बैठ के, जबकि हमारा शुरू नहीं हुआ था सेंटर, आई गॉट अप्रूवल फॉर ट्रेनिंग 120 कैंडिडेट्स देयर विद वॉट एवर रेट्स गवर्नमेंट वॉज पेइंग. उतना फंड करेंगे, बैलेंस आपको करना है. बट वो सेंटर भी आज तक शुरू नहीं हो सका है. इवन कोलकाता, राजकोट, पीपल हैव बीन रीचिंग आउट टू अस. बट माई प्रॉब्लम इज, स्टार्ट करना बहुत ईजी है, यू हैव टू एंश्योर दैट इट सस्टेन्स. Now, if we have been able to do it in Mumbai, it can be done everywhere, but sir, industry को आगे आना पड़ेगा. Exactly. हम अपना all said and done, sorry to be saying this, all jewelers, कोई भूखा तो नहीं मर रहा है, all are doing well. अगर हमारे कारीगर आज छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, I went to Cuttack sir, तारकशी you know, उनके कारीगर, नेशनल अवार्ड विनर कारीगर, उसका बेटा क्या करता है, मोबाइल रिपेयर शॉप में काम करता है. I asked him, he said वो रिक्शा चलाने को तैयार है, but he doesn't want to work on this because मेरे मेहनत की, मेरे काम की मुझे वैल्यू ही नहीं मिलती है. वो देखता है मुझे, कहता है आप वो नेशनल अवार्ड अपना उधर लगा के रखो. आई वेंट टू हिज होम. आप देखोगे तो अपने ऊपर शर्म आती है कि हमारे इंडस्ट्री के सो टू से इम्पोर्टेंट पिलर हैं, जिनके बिना आप अगर वो बनाएंगे नहीं तो बेचेंगे क्या?
सर, कारीगर पूरे देश में ऐसी ही कंडीशन.
I know sir, I have traveled across India, so that is where I think we as an industry partners need to introspect. I am happy to share. Shomik just now spoke to me, he wants to do something in Northeast, but Shomik, sorry, I am putting this before. We need to work out a model where you should be able to sustain it for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. अगर वो 5 साल की विजिबिलिटी नहीं है तो वो पूरा एफर्ट करना वेस्ट है. उतना सब आप एफर्ट करोगे, शुरू में पैसा भी लगाओगे और 6 महीने में 1 साल में बंद हो जाए वो, तो देन देयर इज नो पॉइंट. सो बट व्हाट आई वांट टू से, इंडस्ट्री अगर आगे आएगी तो गवर्नमेंट इज देयर टू सपोर्ट. GJEPCA, GJC, all the ICC, we can reach out to ministries, but they want to see आपका stake क्या है टेबल पर, industry, because they want to see seriousness in industry. Mr. Atul Tiwari spoke in the morning. Industry led, आप बताएं, आप साइन करें कि यहाँ पे 100 लोग ट्रेन होंगे, मैं 100 लोगों को नौकरी दूंगा, then that is doable. But आप खाली sorry to be saying this
नहीं,
again, sir,
absolutely, सही बोल रहे हैं आप।
हम अपना कॉलर ऊपर करने के लिए we want to do something,
लेकिन कॉलर के अंदर देखने
और
को तैयार
नहीं, उसके बाद वो मर जाता है अपनी डेथ, नेचुरल डेथ, उसको फिर कोई नहीं सोचता। वो हुआ, ताली बजी, फीता कटा, एक बैच हुआ, 2 बैच हुआ, बात खत्म। सो आई एम नॉट अ वेरी बिग फैन ऑफ दैट मॉडल, दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव नॉट एक्सपेंडेड इट। जोश मुंबई में चल रहा है, आई इनवाइट एवरीवन। व्हाई डू आई इनवाइट? आप आके देखेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि क्या लगता है उसमें चलाने के लिए। बिकॉज एवरी बैच सर जो पास होता है, 6 से 7 लाख का कंज्यूमेबल और टूल्स खरीदता हूँ मैं। 6 से 7 लाख रुपए का वो इन्वेस्टमेंट एवरी 3 months वी डू। सो इट्स नॉट समथिंग, इट्स लाइक अ फैक्ट्री। ओनली थिंग इज खाली आप सोना या चांदी पे नहीं बना रहे हो, आप ब्रास पे बना रहे हो। Somebody, I will not name, some people saw that jewelry what we made in brass, they said why don't you sell it? I said फिर मुझे register करना पड़ेगा SIPs में as a unit. So, but what I'm saying, it is doable. Artisans, we all say. One last thing, sir, विदेश में हम लोग जाते हैं खरीदते हैं handmade shoe, cobbler ने बनाया है, फिर उसका photo. How much do we pay?
$500.
We pay for his skill. I have traveled to US. I was working with a company I will not name, अपना gems and jewelry का as a consultant. So there, two small rooms, one lady designer sitting with 2 karigars making her own jewelry. She sells at astronomical prices. He said, I don't sell jewelry, I sell a story. I sell photo. I say इसको बनाने में it has taken 200 man hours, and people are willing to pay. Our industry doesn't think about this. Why can't we have the photograph of a karigar sitting in his or her small workshop who made this jewelry and say, okay, this piece of jewelry took 60 man hours to produce. We don't value the labor in India. That's why
we don't add story to our pieces.
yeah, we don't add story. No, we were always looked upon a cheap labor option for exports. I think this is a time when we should sort of elevate from
Absolutely.
cheap labor option to skilled
quality manufacturer,
yes,
yes.
a skilled karigars who are producing unique jewelry. I can go on and on.
Yes. No, you can go on, absolutely.
One second. I would like to correlate and add to something which Rajiv said, since I'm sorry I'm taking your time, but because it concerns what he said. First of all, हम सोचते हैं हम कारीगर क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, दैट नोशन मस्ट गो। हमारे यहाँ सिर्फ ये सोचना कि एक कारीगर को हम सिखा रहे हैं ताकि वो कहीं काम करें। IIGJ में आई चेंज दैट नोशन दिल्ली में, वी वांट टू क्रिएट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स। कारीगर नहीं, कारीगर तो है ही वो, बट वाई कांट ही बी एन एंड वी हैव डन इट। जब शुरू में स्टार्ट किया तो मेरे पास ऐसे कई लोग आए जिनकी बैकग्राउंड ज्वेलरी की थी ही नहीं, वो किसी ज्वेलर फैमिली, किसी अफ्लुएंट फैमिली से नहीं थे। आई एम वेरी प्राउड टू से आफ्टर ट्रेनिंग इन IIGJ Delhi, they are running successful business. Whenever I meet them, they feel happy. They said that what we have learned there, we have taken further, not as an employee, but as an employer. So that is what also we have to create in the mind.
Okay.
जब तक हम sir, just 1 second, I'll take more. And also, Rajiv, we are not competitors. We are together. I'll give you a background. No, I say, no, that's okay, I understand. I was the first to bring GIA in IIGJ Delhi. सबने मुझे कहा कि why are you bringing अपना competitor को साथ में क्यों ला रहे हो? तो I said no, they are not my competitor, they are my partners. We both have 2 spaces. हमारे पास एक अलग कैटेगरी है, उन पे अलग कैटेगरी है. Let us be together. And that is what I am to say, that we are not competitors. Please don't take it that way.
So to his credit, IGJ Delhi is the only IGJ as of today who is affiliated with GJSI. Right, sir?
Thank you, sir. I look forward to it. Thank you very much. Sorry, I took your time.
Last question, just for, actually, Mr. Nisit Nair is a director from Chandrani Pearls. We have been speaking about the government whenever we discuss issues related to the industry. Our focus is on, I also mentioned it, tariffs, duties, but in one way they impact the karigars as well. So we are fixated on, number one, tariffs. Number two, the biggest issue whenever comes up during discussions or forums like these, I see industry always crying for finance, availability of gold, gold metal loans, etc., etc. It goes on and on and on. Unfortunately, I don't know, but I think we are still losing focus on the greater issue about the standards of industry. So, Mr. Nisit, what do you think the industry should do on its part? Only industry.
Thank you, sir. You know, as a manufacturer and a retailer of jewelry, so I mean, it's been said throughout the day only. They've established the fact that there is a problem with getting skilled karigars. You know, with machines, with automations, the skill level, the access to knowledge, the access to funds to train themselves, to reskill themselves in the today's norm and tomorrow's coming future. These are questions that the government is looking at, but as industry, you know, we need to address a few things from our side as well. You know, we as jewelers, we market, or we market ourselves to customers. But we need to also take a step back and say, now that there's a shortage of karigars, and with modernization happening, the level of the reality is the average karigar will not have a job. I mean, let's be real about it, because as you start upskilling yourself, you're looking at automation, you're looking at a karigar no longer has to only learn his own skill. He needs to learn automation. He needs to learn the new buzzword AI. How is it going to affect his life? So unless you're an expert, you're not going to find yourself in a place that the industry needs you, which further reduces the talent pool. Now, one way of saying that the talent pool is coming down, the other way of looking at it is also that the industry now has to start marketing themselves to a smaller pool of karigars. We all want the best product. Customers expect better products from us, so we also want to give them that. Now, to get that better product, you need a better skilled karigar. And when the pool shortens, we need to start marketing ourselves to them. As Rajiv ji has said, Anil ji has said also, when we go overseas, you know, Italian brands, they command a premium because they're Italian. That single man did the job, the cobbler, he gets his name. We also need to stop calling our karigars and artisans as karigars and artisans. Let's call them artists. Bring a brand to the India story. When we talk about it, we don't say karigars. We say they're an artist. They created this product, this unique one-off piece. You know, when Paresh Maiti puts out a piece, it's a one-off piece because he's an artist. We don't call him a painter. We call him an artist, and that's what we need to do with our karigar also. Brand them. Let's create a new brand for the artists, and not call them karigars. That story creates a name for us in the world market, plus with the consumers in our own country. We are creating that story. As Anilji said, let's create a story behind the pieces. When you start branding your artisans as artists, you create that story. You can charge a premium. Like, we all want to make money. We are in this business to make money. But when we create an artist instead of an artisan, we can charge a premium on that. You know, we also talk about celebrating craftsmanship, but you know, the industry together has to also understand that when you start downplaying making charges by putting 50%, 90% off, you're not really being able to celebrate artistry. You're not able to emphasize that you've put work in it, you've commoditized the product, the jewelry line. Other things that, as an industry, mentorship programs, we need to, that's an industry call, that's not the government call, mentorships. Upskilling programs within the organization. Things like using AI to hone the skills of the artist. You can put a camera in front of the artist and let him learn where he can improve himself. We are seeing a lot of automation coming in, and I think over the years, all of us have seen our dependence, from, let's say, 50 karigars doing the same job, we're down to 10 karigars doing the same job because of automation. So how do we further enhance their skills? Using modern tools where they get to understand, they get to learn, and experience it in the organization they're working. I think these are some of the things, and one thing which I feel the government should definitely bring in, I know bringing the government in when you said not keep an industry, the new National Education Policy, the NEP, jewelry craftsmanship should be part of the vocational skills so that the kids get introduced to the jewelry artistry at a much earlier age than when they graduate or later.
I'll offer you, help me draft a curriculum and I'll take it to school.
That's good. Thank you.
No, I can understand, and our session ends here right now. As usual. Any question, answers can be taken later as well. Because we are running short of time, so we will be there still across the tables or out there for lunch. Anybody can discuss anything. Please, because we have been pushed to leave the stage now. Any quick question,
Yeah,
only one or two.
Yeah, one question to the panelist. I'm Pankaj Verma, heading Indian Institute of Gems and Jewellery. Sir, we have all spoken about the declining interest of the next generation of the craftsmen, the karigars. At the same time, we are not able to attract people from other class towards gems and jewellery occupation. I'm being the head of the institute, I face a lot of issues when the trade is asking me, provide me the skilled employees, skilled CAD operator or skilled setter. But I'm not able to fulfill that because the strong middle class is still not attracted towards the gems and jewelry as a profession. So,
as I already mentioned, there are many takers for your CAD or design courses, but there are very few takers for the bench working or the hard skill courses, right? So that is one of the problems. Again, industry also, in my opinion, needs to raise the bar, because we still see a lot of people working in clusters like Bau Bazar, Sinthi, Meerut. There is a room which has hardly a height of 10 feet, and there is still a level there, like mezzanine. And I can barely stand straight there. So I have seen places like those, there is no air inside, there is no light, and poorly lit places, poorly ventilated places. I already mentioned that industry is a gross, sorry for ruffling feathers of so many people around, but we are gross violators of human rights. We must understand that. If we don't improve on this, actually we don't present something like an aspirational value to the
I'll
youth
give you a
also.
solution, Pankaj. Let us start a Josh in Delhi. You focus on the courses because you run paid courses. Okay, जो filing, setting, polishing सीखने कोई फीस दे के नहीं आता है, उनको जैसा हम लोग करते हैं. And we also, sir, जैसा आपने कहा, almost 100% of our students are from non-jewelry background. Jeweler का बच्चा नहीं आता है सीखने.
Rajiv ji, you have already hinted, when you gave example of Jaipur and other centers, because why it is successful in Mumbai and not in other areas?
May I add one
अभी
sentence?
बैठा है ना इसलिए बोल
May I
रहा
add
हूँ.
one sentence to what you have asked? See, you are talking about branding, branding of using the jeweler or the artisan's fixture. This has been there in multiple sectors. In carpets they do, several sectors they do. But that part is very easy because all of us are very frequently, most of these jewelers, most of us travel abroad, so we know what sells outside. But the same thing is that when you're branding, when you're taking a premium, how much of that share of the premium is going to the artisan? How much of you are willing to pass? That is where is the secret. That is where is the secret. And if that is
she's
there,
right.
no, easily people will come down. There is nothing to be done there.
Absolutely.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
I like to tell you this thing, that yes, we lag behind on that. The one jeweler I can name is Harry Winston, who took an artist from India, Mr. Shinde, Ambaji Shinde, yes, a person who was not from a jewelry background, he was only an art student. He saw his potential, took him there, and I can tell you, go back to his book. Every design created by him in Harry Winston's book, Ambaji Shinde is the mention over there. Now that is the recognition which a Karigar must be given. We lag there.
यस अनिल जी, जस्ट टू ऐड टू दिस, आपको मालूम है पंकज, वर्ल्ड स्किल होता है एक कंपटीशन हमारा, सुबह मेंशन भी किया था उन्होंने. तो ज्वेलरी में एवरी टाइम वी हैव बीन विनिंग सम रिकॉग्निशन, दिस टाइम अराउंड आल्सो. एंड आवर इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर टू ट्रेन दीज कैंडिडेट्स आई कैन नेम इज वोमुडी बंगारू जूलर्स बेस्ड इन चेन्नई. ओके, तो दे आर अवर इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर. तो हमारा बच्चा जो है वहाँ 1 साल 2 साल की ट्रेनिंग देता है. वी सपोर्ट. उनके जो हेड हैं वो हमारे वर्ल्ड स्किल एक्सपर्ट हैं. नाउ लास्ट टाइम का जो हमारा वर्ल्ड स्किल का विनर था, दे हैव टेकन हिम टू टेक्सास. दे ओपनड अ शोरूम इन टेक्सास. दे हैव टेकन दैट बॉय टू टेक्सास. ही इज लिविंग इन यूएस. ओके, and he is earning in dollars. He is maha happy. Even the candidate who just won, Tufan Mal, he is just 17 and a half years old. He is also going to US. They are taking him to another store in US. So what I'm saying, there are examples of such support. Now they come from very humble background.
Sir,
Okay.
I think
Sir,
we
but
need,
they are
we need
like
lot more
Olympic gold medallions, again, gold medalists. There are common, so many people around, so many karigars around. Industry needs to move out of this traders mentality. 2% में लेना है, 2.2% में बेचना है. We need to move out of this. That's
Rajiv,
it.
yeah, I think yes.
Yes, sir. I
Before
think
you
it
go,
ends here.
I have.
Pankaj ji, we will have again more and
Thank
more
you.
question answers.
Thank you, sir. Thank
very
you,
Before he
ma'am.
goes, I like to say that I've discussed this proposal in my board. There is something there. Thank
And
you, sir.
I would like to thank ICC,
One second.
Vinod ji,
Mr. Garg,
Ji,
chairperson.
Raju
we
and
request
thank
you
you
kindly
everyone.
stay back,
Raju sir, one
There is-
question.
we can,
Raju sir, one
sir, we
question.
can take the questions later. Later, we can take the questions. All the dignitaries are around, and I would request Mr. Sriram Natarajan, MD GIA India, and Ms. Varda Goenka, proprietor of Dia Gold, to kindly come forward and felicitate all our eminent guests on the dais, please. Starting with Mr. Rajiv Garg. Thank you so much, Mr. Garg, and wish you a safe journey. And now I would request Mr. Natarajan to kindly felicitate Mr. D.D. Carroll, Mr. Narayana Swamy. I beg your pardon, Professor Narayana Swamy. Mr. Shankwal. And Mr. Nishit Nair. Thank you so much, everyone. I request you all to kindly come forward for a group picture also. Mr. Natarajan, please stay back for a group picture also. Mr. Sen and Mr. Carroll, if you can join for a group picture, please. Thank you once again, everyone, for that very insightful discussion we just had. I'm sure there'll be a lot of takeaways from this discussion for the audience as well. And on that note, we'll move on to a special presentation on silver derivatives used for hedging. And this presentation will be given by Mr. Rahul Gupta, Associate Vice President, Intermediary Relationships, National Stock Exchange of India Limited.
Right. So first of all, thank you ICC for giving me this opportunity to talk on a very different note. I would like to take it forward from जो अभी ये discussion panel में हो रहा था about skill, about how skill. I am not from jewelry background. Sorry for that. I belong from derivatives market, coming from National Stock Exchange. But just to take things forward, जो यहाँ पे अभी discuss हो रहा था about labor being skilled, labor having that skill. Derivative is also a skill. Hedging, which is one of the most important thing which is required as of now with the current situation जहाँ पे after Trump we all know dollar में we almost saw $150 का fall, gold में, silver was 4% down. At that moment, how do you hedge yourself? That is what I would like to touch upon in next probably 10 minutes which I have been given. So based on that agenda, I'd like to introduce myself. I head the business development for commodities at National Stock Exchange. NSE, first time in last 30 years, have come up with a commodity exchange. So all products like gold, silver, crude, natural gas are available on NSE platform. And it is available from hedging's perspective. You all come from jewelry and jewelry background. Gold and silver is something which you deal in on daily basis. And volatility is something which happens on daily basis. If you know what happened with Fed policy ने 2 दिन पहले कल रात को क्या किया, आज शाम को 6 बजे, if people are connected, non-farm payroll numbers आने वाले हैं. Of course, market is going to be very volatile. During that volatility, how do you hedge yourself? That is something which is available on exchange platform. I'm glad ICC is looking from that perspective. Rajiv sir के साथ मेरा बात हो रहा था. He was discussing about how to ensure that a jeweler hedge themselves. Hedging as a process is extensively used across the globe. If you talk from international perspective, a lot of jewelers internationally use these products for hedging. I think as of now, however, मैंने जितना देखा है, I have not seen people using it very extensively. But trust me, all major jewelers look into this concept of hedging. That is one thing which we extensively should look at. See, we have to strongly believe into one thing that gold, जो एक जनरल धारणा है क्या gold हमेशा ऊपर ही ऊपर जाएगा, that is soon going to change. Why? Because rupee depreciation has stopped. If you see, rupee annualized used to depreciate 4.5–5%. This time, in last 6 months, rupee has not even depreciated by probably 1% or 1.5%. अगर rupee depreciate नहीं होगा, तो gold continuously ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. Please be considerate about that part. There was a time in 2020–21 जहाँ पे international prices were very similar at $2,000, but India में prices were doubled because 2008 or 2018 के बीच में rupee depreciated by double. So that was the difference which happened when it comes to rupee depreciation and volatility in gold. So my sincere request to each one of you, people looking into derivatives as a product, skill के बारे में जब we were discussing so extensively, it is very important for us to look from the perspective of derivatives. NSE is a one platform which provides that facility. Silver is one of the contract which is extensively available with us. We try and have a lot of good liquidity on silver. Crude, natural gas are other products which we have. Of course, crude natural gas might not be directly related to this forum, but yes, commodities per se, NSE, आज तक NSE जाना चाहता था equity market के लिए, but soon it will also be known for commodities as well. It will be one of the biggest exchange in commodities as well. We are one of the biggest exchange globally for derivatives. We are ensuring that we become similar for commodities piece as well. So my sincere request, my sincere humble request to each one of you, people looking from derivatives perspective, people looking from hedging perspective, looking to hedge your silver exposure, looking to hedge your gold exposure, I think NSE would be your answer. I would be more than happy to sit along with you just to have a brief discussion about how to go about doing hedging, why hedging is important, how hedging is important. That is something which I think it's the need of the hour. With just to repeat and reiterate, with the current market volatility, Trump policy, of course, we all know Trump is very volatile. Gold, silver is going to be very volatile. I'm not trying to give any view here, but that is what general observation is there in the market. If the volatility keeps going, I think hedging is required. With interest rates coming down globally, RBI policy, all those things will definitely have a lot of impact on your jewelry industry. So think from that perspective. Please let me know if I can be of any help. In case if you are thinking from hedging perspective, I'll be more than happy to have a one-on-one discussion as well. Yeah, thank you.